Hargreaves, a chance for Torquay. Chris Hargreaves, the captain. If he stays offside, Carlisle checks instead. He's looking for Benny. Sills.
Hello and welcome to this Gull'S Eye View. I'm joined by Tom.
Good evening, lads. You all right?
Yeah, joined by Dom.
Good evening.
I mean, there's so much to get into this week, isn't there? Right, so we'll start on the football front. So we've asked you a lot of questions in the second part where we talk about ownership, which is probably the biggest priority right now. And you can tell that by the time we record this, by the time I edit it, and by the time it goes out, it will have changed. But we're recording this on Wednesday afternoon. It'll probably be out Thursday morning. And it's probably all going to change again by Thursday or Friday. But we will do what we can do now to try and see how it goes. Right, so the games are Yeovil and Weston-super-Mare. Not a successful bank holiday weekend at all. And Torquay have actually been really good at bank holidays in the last few years. The last 2 or 3 seasons, I think we've been really successful. And it's always been a time when we've managed to vaguely keep on track. But wow, I am so annoyed about that Weston-super-Mare game, especially. But should we start Yeovil? We'll start Yeovil. Who wants to take this one? Dom, do you want to take this one?
Yeovil. We should have known the signs on the travel club, shouldn't we, Tom? We were only in the wrong entrance, got stuck for 20 minutes, and then had to come out to the main road, couldn't get out.
Shambles.
We're all gasping for a pint by that point. Then once we did get in, I mean, we played all right for the first half hour, didn't we? We were kind of level pegging with them. They had more possession. We were letting them have it. We looked vaguely organised, which was good. People were working for each other, closing down space. They had a few shots, but nothing much. But were we going to score the first goal? I think that was the issue. Because we all knew, looking at our recent history, we need that first goal against these sort of teams. Yeah. Otherwise, it's going to be a long afternoon. And we had a couple of hard chances, Tom, didn't we? Ash had a couple of...
Yeah, he did, but he's
brief
not
chances.
clinical enough.
Yeah, they weren't easy, but
Ash is such
pressure's on him to deliver when you're only one man up front.
Ash really frustrates him because someone who scores so many goals, we're like McGavin actually. Yeah, it frustrates you a lot of the time because I feel like there's 2 Brad Ashes. One that turns up a lot more at Playmore he does away, apart from he scored the brace in that away game, is that he can be he's a really hard working footballer. There's no doubt about that. He has a bit about him. He doesn't get bullied. He knows how to handle himself in that sense. But then he just doesn't strike the ball cleanly.
Not quick enough to make decisions.
No, there was that ball by Lapsey over, and it's really telling. Like, he's really good at a poacher at times. And he can finish on a turn really well. But that sort of thing, if he just gets there, I thought just any sort of contact to lift it up a bit, and it causes Day a problem. But he just kind of hesitated, and the moment was gone. And
he likes to have that time on the ball to think about it.
And if he has a couple of
best strikers don't do that. Do they?
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like as soon as something bad happens, he's gone. Like that cutback he missed. There's been like Brad Ash's his season. I'd sum up. There's been some really, really good performances. I'm like, I really like Brad Ash. He's a really good striker at division. And then there's been some games we've missed sitter after sitter, like Western away. And it's just
a confidence player, isn't he? He's like Collins and the others.
It's just inconsistent more than anything because
he's hampered by the formation. He's hampered by the way we play. That's what I keep telling myself. He's hampered by the way that we set up. We all know Ash does well when he's got a big target man up there.
Yeah. He's hampered by being a National League South player as well. I think expectations got really high this summer, didn't he? Because he scored.
He's done it at this level. Multiple times he's done it at this level.
18 for Weymouth, but that doesn't mean he's going to get 25, 30 for us, does it? I think you often think, he'll come to what should have been a better team and score more goals. But he was probably the main man at Weymouth and getting those chances. So that's why
they played to his strengths, probably, like any good manager and team should.
But we needed one of those chances to go in because suddenly they counter-attacked. Stubbs lost the ball in midfield.
That was really disappointing,
Shouldn't have done. That was a bit soft. They had a shot from distance. It ricocheted. The striker tapped it home. A bit unlucky. But
when you're at the top of the table, the ball falls that way, though, doesn't it? When you're at the top of the table,
because you work into the right places. and more and off.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but he had a
often,
striker where you need him to be as well.
yeah, that's the difference. Yeah,
The young striker Clark was a handful throughout,
Mm.
and he scored the tap in. And after that, there was just only one winner really.
I didn't like that though. A lot of people were kind of the thing. Oh, it's Yeovil away. We should be
Yeah,
that far away from Yeovil. I don't care what's going on. Like, I really hurt the way we kind of just like laid down for them in the second half.
We didn't
Like,
really,
we've
yeah,
got
we didn't really
Western
turn
on
up in the
Monday. That's
second
more
half.
important.
We
And
didn't
that
turn
was
up in the
really
second half. I think we knew Yeovil were gonna up it anyway, and with the backing of their crowd, we
take
just
nothing away
buckled
from
under
Yeovil.
pressure.
Wow,
Yeah, no,
they
Yeovil
know
were
how
going to
to
be
get
the.
the ball in the right positions and finish it well. Good
You can see
team.
why they're going to win this
Yeah.
division. They're well structured. They're well
Very
set
good
up.
team.
They've got threats everywhere. But it's just disappointing that we didn't see a reaction in the second half. Yeah, first half, whilst we didn't really have many chances, I did feel like we were the better team before the goal. I mistakenly put a tweet out for Talkie Talk just before their opener to say that actually keep it quiet, that it seems like we're the better team here. And then bam, 2 minutes later, they're 1-0 up. So I'll take the hit, the Yellow Army. But it's just frustrating. I mean, I'm not going to lie, I went in completely with zero expectation. And I kind of, I wasn't as frustrated as others there. We all knew Yeovil were going to beat us, unfortunately. And, just sums up what a disappointing season this has been, and what a shambolic year we've had. Last couple of years we've had. We should be up there with Yeovil. We really should. And the failures from people inside the club, those managing the club this season, have been laid bare, sadly.
we laughed at the owner at Yeovil, didn't we? We laughed at him, and he did make some silly things, and he was falling out of people. But he put his money where his mouth is. Invested in the squad. They've made a big push, and it's paying off for them, isn't it? So, and on the other hand, we had owners that just don't care enough. So that's the difference, isn't it? So,
and
what was
that's why they're going up.
What was good to see was Archer starting on Friday.
Yeah,
that kind of came out the blue, but he's the kind of player we've been asking for weeks now. At least he's not the finished article by any means, but at least he gives you something. At least he provides a little bit of threat out there.
This team is full of Whiteman-like players, and that doesn't work together. It might have worked in the 90s, when I'm not patronising 90s football or 2000s. My favourite football, actually, I preferred football then. But it's built by a manager, Gary Johnson, who still thought football was like that, which is weird.
It's all right if they've got plenty of leadership and talking on the pitch and plenty of aggression. But there's none of that to go with it. That's the trouble. They're workmanlike, but not very.
And these clubs getting overtaken. Look, I don't really know the ins and outs of Boreham Wood, but to see a team that's been quite, physical, and also than where they are now, someone could be a lot better educated to say why that's happened. But it's just a case of, we just need technical signings next year, and if the club survives and we're in the south with some sort of budget, whether it's part-time, full-time, we'll speak more about that in part 2. But I think that really does show where the club is and going to be for a while. When I was watching the Yeovil v Torquay game, I was like, this is what I've missed. Just 2 big sets of fans at each other, as long as it's done in the right way. Bit of atmosphere, bit of, and that's where Torquay should be. But now, we're years. It's like when we went Derby away. Not saying it was big as Derby, but it was just like, going to a stadium like this, I know.
But it's incredible. It's incredible though that the fans still turn up in numbers,
and they always will.
Season after season we've had recently. I think it's great that we had near 700 there. If we were doing well, you'd expect us to take at least 1,000 minimum. But fair play to all the fans who went there on Friday. The game, I think, was lost once the teams were announced. No Jarvis and no Dawson. I mean, they're 2 big players. If you thought we were going to get even a point from Yeovil, you need those 2 starting. And have we seen the last of Jarvis? I don't know.
Certainly rumours, isn't there? There's rumours going on.
There's a lot of rumours going around.
He's either found somewhere else, or he's injured, or he just doesn't want to risk getting another injury.
You take Dawson out of that midfield, and there's just nothing.
We were never going to get a clean sheet, were we? We were always going to concede goals. We were never going to.
There's a few problem players. There's a few problem players that really frustrated me recently. McGavin's fallen off for a while, in the sense of someone with such an impressive technical ability with the goals. Look at his highlights reel. Yeah,
he's been poor recently. I think
been poor. Yeah, like there's been times when he could just have a shot, and he hasn't really.
I was so frustrated,
and he just gets lapped around and tracking back.
But McGavin's strengths are set pieces, just on the edge or outside the box. That's where he's strong.
Yeah.
He scores goals from distance.
Gets
Why
his
are we not
confidence
playing
up.
him there?
Yeah.
Why are we not setting him up in those positions?
Why are we putting him so deep where he just gets overrun and frustrated and loses his confidence?
But
And
it's a
then
point. We've
all
got
we-
it's a sluggish midfield. We have a sluggish midfield
Yeah.
when you take Dawson and
I
stuff
think
like that.
as a player, he reflects the whole squad for me. When things are going right, and
nice player.
things
Yeah.
are looking okay for you, things can work out, and things start going against you, and you've got to man up a bit. That's when it goes wrong, and he's
Yeah.
just not up to the task.
They all go
me.
missing. As soon as Yeovil went 1-0 up, they were missing that second half. It's disgraceful. It's not
Well,
acceptable.
Down said at full time, didn't he? In his interview, he said at 3-0, his mind was already shifted to Monday.
And I think at 1-0, they felt like that, to be honest with you. And
But
another
come
player
out and have a go. No one expects us to win.
No.
So just go for it. If we lose 3-4-0, so be it. That's unfortunately our battles are not with Yeovil this season. But just have a go. Even if we get tonked 5-6-0, whatever, I probably could have taken that anyway.
We couldn't get the ball a lot of the second half.
But then the referee on Friday as well completely lost control from the opening seconds of that game.
And
you
don't do it.
It took until the second half of things to calm down, but not to say that's the reason we lost. Again, Yeovil deserved the win, but the officiating was so poor. I saw Chris from his broken seat on Friday. He was not very happy with a few calls that the lino and the referee made. But the standard of officiating on Friday was not very good, I thought.
That was the only thing I did like. The first 10 minutes, we did get in their faces a bit.
I like that.
There's a few set-twos. I thought, oh, this is a bit good, because I haven't seen
the physicality in there.
Give me 11 players like Jude Boyd, honestly, and Arch as well. But like Jude Boyd, why we say, oh, they're young. No, I'm sick of that. I'm sick of it. You're either good enough and you have the right attitude, or you don't. I'm sick of it. Give me, honestly, 15, 16 players who are all 18 to 22. Yeah, they might get a bit unstuck in experience in ways, but if they're the right people who are technical and they have ability and they stand up, like Jenkins-Davies as well, actually, I'll take all of them, because then you can grow them, they all can get better, and then they can be an asset to sell from your football club. But no, that's, if you're going to have a lot of veteran or other players on big wages, at least I hope they, don't just go missing. And Mark Holstead as well. I hate criticising Mark Holstead. I really like him as a bloke, I say it. But especially in the Western game, we're just conceding so many soft goals. He's an experienced professional goalkeeper who just seems to just have lapses. When he's always caught cold, like that first goal against Western. Caught cold. He'll make some great saves when you're 1-0, 2-0 down. He had some stunning performances at the start. But I just expected so much better from him this season. I expect to be like the best keeper bar of Joe Day when he eventually re-arrived. I know he didn't come from the start in the league. It's just, I feel like we can concede all the time. Like,
there was only one keeper with presence at Yeovil, and it was Joe Day.
It's everything I thought.
He looked the part. He really did look the part.
He's a great keeper.
From every angle, and he was commanding the defence.
Didn't really test him either. The opportunity we did have, we didn't really force a save out of him, which is disappointing.
And half of that is because he's commanding, and he, where the amount of soft goals, and again, I really like Elstead, but it's just not good enough. It's not good enough. I want my experienced players to be, making big saves like that. Well, only Elstead. I don't want anyone else on board. But I want this, like Moxie did. Moxie cleared it off the line. We did against Hampton as well, didn't he? And Western. So no, it's just like. But then even like Moxie got turned on that third goal. Do I blame him? Should have been left in that position. Me and Sonny Senior were just saying, "Oh yeah, who would you vote player of the season?" Moxie, and then he gets turned, and it's 3-0, and it's like. It's so difficult to sort of like all of it. But for me, it's just Jude Boyd is the only one I'm taking credit. And when did he turn up?
He was the standout of both the bank holiday weekend games, I felt, Jude Boyd.
Yeah, we talked about Frank Newbley, didn't we? And he had a huge influence second half. He just kept on getting possession and working his way through, and made the second goal, was it? His kind of leadership and that we've sorely missed that kind of thing.
Yeah, no, it's just know-how. It's just know-how. Right, Western.
It's stuff like the second goal we conceded at Yeovil before we move on, like McGavin diving in. Don't dive in, just stand up, your man.
Yeah, poor decisions.
Don't piece up in that position. They're all silly goals.
You learn that when you're 12.
They're all silly goals.
Everyone goes, inexperience.
They're poor decision makers. They're
Just poor
emotional
decision-making.
defenders almost, that they can't hold their heads.
No.
But that's the worst thing for me. The goals we concede are
Yeah.
dreadful,
Yeah.
and God knows what we do on the training pitch each and every week. How many times have we said it this season? It just, oh, come on, lads! Like, use a bit of footballing brain. There we go. But yeah, Monday was the really big one, wasn't it? And well, started so well. Like, it was a completely
At
different team.
2-0,
I
I
felt.
thought we were actually going to win that.
And before we go
didn't
into the Western game as well, there's also been a bit of news today, which it's not our place to talk about much, but well, it is, because obviously Western have filed a claim of racial abuse against a Talking Like family. It's absolutely disgusting. I hope my thoughts are with people who are victim of that, all of us at Talkie Talk. I'm not going to sit here and do what they all do and go, oh, it's not a true foot talkie fan. They are, most probably are. But sadly, these people are still with us in all walks of life, and every fan base will have them within their fan base, and there's no point pretending and that. But all we can do is say we're extremely embarrassed, extremely sorry, and it's happened, not because it's tarnished our reputation, but it's happened in the first place, and it should never ever happen at any era, let alone now. So I hope that's properly dealt with, and I hope the victims of that are supported in the way it needs to.
He was pointed out by other Torquay fans, wasn't he? So they were embarrassed by it as well, which is good that they stepped up and made sure the guy was caught. So
well done to those who had helped with that. But yeah, into the West-Super-Mare game. What a weird game. Have you ever been 2-0, 2-1 up and been so unhappy with how you're playing? Well, we were. We started with the positive stuff. 2 lovely work goals. I was like, oh,
they were beautiful goals. Yeah,
maybe we're turning the corner.
2 of the best goals I've seen all season.
Such well worked goals. Nice bit. And then the absolute defensive shape, whatever formation it's meant to be, 4 whatever, 3 whatever it is, a fullback. I'm so embarrassed. Honestly, how it was like the away game, apart from where I was not in the rain. This one, I was watching it on holiday, on stream. Great way to ruin my day. But they just spattered us at the 3-2 defeat. Was should have been about 6, 7, 8 if they're more clinical on the day. It's just horrendous.
We reverted back to default, didn't we? Aaron Downs mentioned it a few weeks ago. When things go against us, we seem to revert to a default, and sadly,
not good in adversity. We haven't been all season.
But we're comfortable. 2-0 up, 15 minutes. It looks like we're going to absolutely trounce them.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether Downs has changed anything, or I don't know, but there's just no excuse for it. The goal we conceded was dreadful again, goes under Halstead. And, you get to half time, lucky to be 2-1 up. And, the next goal was vital, wasn't it? Get the next goal, get that 2-goal gap again, and, you should be able to see the game out. But they just didn't. We were brilliant for 15 minutes.
Time, weren't we? We came out of half time looking like we were half, not even half asleep. We weren't winning the balls. It was like, what did he say at half time?
It is absolutely.
We assumed they'd be more energized.
I just really, in any workplace, it's disgusting, the mentality. I don't care, because it's been happening for a couple of years before what's going on now. These are players that should be fighting for their futures, our football club, at any standards, and it's just the mentality. If they think this is a Torquay problem, which it sometimes seems to be, because look at players seem to do better and not with us, but it's unacceptable. Some of them just need to stand up. I hate I don't like the phrase man up or anything like that, but they just need to grow up. They just need to mature and just, not. And this is what happens when the whole football club is a blame culture, from the owner to the CEO to the manager at the time, Gary Johnson, to everywhere. It's always someone else's fault. Of things we'll talk about in the second episode, it's always someone else's fault. It's no accountability in this whole football club. And this is why we're now years and years and years of repair to even be grateful to have a football club when the news comes through on Thursday and Friday, whatever that's going to be. And it's gone right down to the pitch. Everyone blames the ref for a bad decision. Right, it can happen. Get on with it. Stop crying. The amount of times, like starting from Corey Andrews last season, dives over from kickoff. Jarvis, great winning free kick sometimes, but spends half time looking for free hits. Badash, get up. Get up. Stop being pathetic. Get up. Stop. If the referee sees that, he's not giving you a decision. There's no thought. I just hate it. Oh, it's always everyone else's fault.
Yeah, there's a mentality problem there,
There's
isn't
a
there?
huge mentality in this whole
They
I
just
do,
need
I
to
do,
work
I do
hard.
wonder
They
if
just need to work harder for me as well. That there's a lot of ball watching going on,
Oh,
lazy
they do my
play,
head
isn't
in.
it?
yeah.
They do
Just
my
track,
head in.
just
I've
track
lost
your
wonder-
man.
There's just
That's
like,
what you
oh,
need
I've
to
lost
do.
my man. Oh, that was your man. No, get in, take
Mm.
accountability. Honestly, I would love an hour in that dressing room half the time because
again,
I want answers from these players.
Mm.
I don't understand what are they like at home when you know, oh, you meant to pick the kids up. I thought it was you. Pathetic. Honestly,
it's the system though as well. The system doesn't work. I mean, how many times have we said this season 3-5-2 needs to get in the bin? There's just no plan B at all.
turns
I
out
did
whatever
think-
formation we play with.
I did think,
I
yeah.
don't think it's the system as much as the players, Tom, in that regard. Because if they play a 4-4-2
Yeah.
or whatever they play, they've
They
still
don't
got
double
the
up. They
basics.
don't. They lose their man. Oh, it's your man.
I do.
all that all the
I
time.
must say, I was sat there in the second half a couple of times thinking, wonder if they're really trying. I wonder if they've got a
Yeah.
move on their mind anyway. I wonder if they're just, get the season done.
Some clearly have. So
But not that I would want to think that, but I do get that impression, sadly.
I'm fed up of all.
At the end of the day,
defending
lads,
them. All
how many
season I
times-
tried to defend them.
Yeah. We had to, realistically, I think I still 2 wins would have give us enough points to stay up. And if you've got 2 home games and you look at who we're playing, no disrespect to, obviously not to Western because they've done a great job this season. They've got
They
themselves
should have
safe
beaten us.
and they should have beaten us. We only got a point from that game because of an absolute howler. An absolute howler to get our third.
He's a very good goalkeeper. He's just
Yeah. And haven't, who look like they are going to go down, but then they won on, on Monday. So it's, we've got an important 4 away games coming up, and I just can't see us getting anything after. There's no way we're confident we'll get a win at any of those. So to get 2 home wins would have been enough in my mind. But I don't know what the mentality is. We just offered nothing in the second half. And again, did we really force a save for most of that second half?
No.
Not really.
Look what
Because
happens when
they
you
were
do.
winning the midfield battle, weren't they? They pushed
Yeah.
forward in the odds and sods, the bits and pieces, and we retreated backwards. You've got Asa Hall limping ball up to Ash continually. They just reverted to type, as we said. That first 20 minutes, we had movement, we had passing, because Western were all over the shop, weren't they? I mean, we could have easily been 3-0 up and coasted, well, maybe. And things were going well. There was good movement off the ball from Jenkins Davis, especially. Archer was dangerous. Yeah, everything was working. That's the plan A. But plan A doesn't work for the whole game necessarily. You've got to dig in defensively then perhaps because the other team will get the ball and you've got to react to that. We just don't react very well. That's just so disappointing, isn't it?
I don't get it as well. We have big crowds turn up, 3,000 again at Playmore on Monday, and they just don't perform the whole game. There's the excuse of we've gone 2-0 up early on. You've got the crowd fully behind them, and
it's all there for them, isn't it?
They just hide away. Something goes wrong, we concede a goal, and they just hide.
They hide. What are
Come
you?
on, lads. We could be relegated to the Southern League if things aren't.
Fault.
That is a realistic possibility.
We should never ever have been a 10-point deduction away from a relegation battle with the squad we had. I'm not having it. Honestly, it's pathetic. We should have been.
Thank you, Gary Johnson.
Yeah, we should have been. Oh, we're out of the playoffs at the very most. Oh, okay, playoffs is over. Pathetic, honestly, embarrassing. It's such an easy chance for so many of these players to really be like wipe away all the disappointment and just rubbish of the last couple of years, and it's like right, okay, they really battled. They kept us up properly.
We should have held that game though. Once we got 3-2 up, we should have had enough to hold out for the last 5-6 minutes.
But nobody expected us to, did they? Did anyone?
Ruben Reed, him again, Sam.
Yeah, well, boy,
Didn't feel like it.
first hockey game.
He was excellent throughout, Ruben Reed, because every time they put it towards him, he held it up, brought others into play, showed all his experience. And the amount of times he chested the ball down, Tom, to get it and then held it well was just continually. Asa and Dean struggled at the back. They just looked a bit tired and they just weren't picking up the players. Just all round the ball watching. I've never seen so much ball watching the football match.
Just embarrassing.
All they had to do was move down the flanks, give and go, and suddenly they had acres to play in. And it was just begging belief, really did from professionals.
I just don't understand it. I just do not understand it. It's just not good. It's just not good enough. I try and really defend them a lot, but it's just not good enough. It's unacceptable. And I
These
think,
lot want to be professional players or continue
Oh.
to be. That they're not on the right path on this. They've got to do so
Put
much.
yourself in the shop window, lads.
We talk about somebody
do it
like
for
Tom
yourselves, not just
Lapsley.
us or something. Yeah.
We talk about Tom Lapsley usually as well. We say he's usually a bright spark, but he was poor again. He doesn't look fit at the moment. He wasn't busy enough.
Not many of them do, though, do they?
Looks too interested in winding up the opposition or talking to the ref, other than just getting stuck in and getting involved in the game. So,
It's too much. Just get in and do your jobs. I'm just
yeah.
really disappointed with all of them, to be honest.
Yeah.
They've really let themselves down. But there we go. So, Puff and Jew boy, you're all right, mate. Good luck. You won't be here for long, Christ. If you'll be looking at him, because that's where they'll be going. And Archer as well. So, yeah, Archer again.
Archer showed why he's not been.
ability.
He showed why he's not been picked on Monday. That's the issue. He did create that assist for the goal was beautiful. Lovely little jink in the box. He got caught ball watching so often, and he keeps on flying into challenges, and they just skip past him. And he needs to improve those sort of facets of the game, because it was hard to watch at times. But he's potentially he's a good player, but needs a fair bit of work.
Yeah, that would be part one, and then we're going to answer your. Well, we've asked you questions, and we've got a ridiculous amount of comments, which obviously is good. Which Caddy's Corner, try and get through that. We'll say our little bits as well. So yeah, see you in part two.
Here's Hargreaves, chance for Torquay. Chris Hargreaves, the captain. If he stays onside, Carlisle checks instead. He's looking for Benyon.